have a whole theory about that band. Okay. Yeah, I have a theory about that band. So somehow or other, I have to wash this front windshield. I have a theory about that band. I have to wash this front windshield. Somehow or other, I have to wash this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my jacket. It's a little bit cold outside. Oh, let me turn this volume down. And get out there, front windshield off. So let me see if this thing actually has. Oh wow, it doesn't have any washer fluid in it. It doesn't have any washer fluid, or it don't work. One or the other. I haven't tried it. So let me grab my what you call it. Yeah, I hope the washer works on it. Maybe I'd pour a little water on it first. I don't know. That back window, that back window needs it needs to be watered down a little bit because it's got so much dust on it. So I don't want to get all that dust on the rag. So trying to get used to moving that thing around. Look at this corn on the cob. Do you think a dog brought that, or you think a crow dropped it? Isn't that weird? That's pretty damn weird. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it, but that's pretty weird. The, the horse is the the dude horse. He's ran over here like like if he wants something. See the dude horse? Like if he wants, and then the chick horse is right there. See her? There's the dude horse. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, I don't want to immediately suspect the worst. So it's got to be either a dog brought it or a crow dropped it. Be nice to throw an apple out there, but I guess you don't want to mess with people's horses. Okay. So here we go. Got a little bit of range, so I might have to charge it up for a little bit, maybe not. We'll see. So, what are you doing? Oh, I guess you're not doing nothing because I only see one person in here, and I don't know if that's myself, unless I have a really, really devoted person who's watching. Maybe a reptilian shapeshifter. I wouldn't doubt it. You practice what you preach. So we got sunset here in Avenal, California, here in the central San Joaquin Valley in California. And I'm making my way the only way they know how. I'm on my way to this little town that's up here. This, where I'm at right now, is technically is Fresno County, and this little town technically is Coalinga. The town closest to out here in the woods is Avenal, and that's where we're going. It's 3 miles away, where the township of Coalinga is actually 15 miles away. And so the story goes. You know what song that is? I'll do 3 beats and see if you know what song it is. Dun, 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 dun. How you know, huh? Okay, so let's turn the lights on a little bit. Oh man! Damn it! Doggone it! I forgot to put this little. What was using my underwear, huh? Where in the hell are they? I was using my underwear up there. What the heck happened to? I gotta tell this dog something. Get out of here! Get out of here, dog! Get out of here, doggy! So, where are those doggone underwear? Oh, you put them over here because they're a little bit wet, but oh well. Okay. Yeah, I hate when that foam falls like that. So now we're gonna have to get up on the other side because we got cars coming. So now we gotta climb up over here. And there's a bunch of trash down here. How are y'all doing? It's Friday. I didn't even know it was Friday this morning. Um, I don't know why he climbed up there like that. It's crazy. Oh, because it's Friday. That's why. So, yeah, I got a bunch of dust over there, but in an electric car, you don't have to fret about the dust, right? Don't have to worry about it going into the oil. But so what are y'all doing on this Friday night? Friday, today is March. Got to remember that we're in March. Okay. Today is March the 6th, Friday night, and the moon is like a full moon. So, what's going on with Bitcoin? Well, what I read online, y'all have been following my predictions, right? Y'all have been following my predictions. I said it was going to take a dip big time on the full moon, which was on the 3rd, or a few days after. I said that's usually what it does. And there's more chances that it will dip than climb. And so when I said this, I said it's going to move sideways for about a month. And then I said, well, actually it's going to be like a month and 10 days. But because we have the full moon, I'm thinking, well, today's the 6th, right? So, I'd have to take a look at it, but I mean, the chances of it taking another 2 weeks to make a move is very slim. I'm just talking about the way it's moved in the past, especially when it's been in a bear market for so long. And well, I guess some people say it's not a bear market. And so in other words, I think within these next 3 days, it already started. It already started to take, it's going down. I mean, I said it was going to go down, and it increased like about, I think, 10%. So everybody got their panties in an uproar, right? They're like, buy. One person bought $100 million worth. Another person bought, well, not a person, but BlackRock bought another 400 million worth, and some other people bought some, and everybody thought, it was going down, and now a lot of people got back in, and because it had shot up like 10%, and so it did not go any higher than that, and now it's on its way back down. So now we're waiting for it to bounce off some support line, But I said it was building up momentum, so anytime now it can just start rocketing downward and bust through this low of 62K. And if it busts through there, we're going down, clown, like a merry-go-round. And hence the feeding frenzy begins. But I told you they've already got they've already moved hundreds of millions of dollars ready to make a move. So this is going along perfectly with my theory, if I'm not mistaken. If they moved 400 million onto the exchange, ready to do something with it, this goes perfectly with my theory that it's gonna bust through this resistance and or this low of 62. It's gonna bust through there. If it does what I think it's gonna do, it's gonna shoot downward. It's already on its way down. It was a 10% up. It kind of like skyrocketed up and up 10% and got deflected, is on its way back down. And I think now it's going to pick up momentum and go smashing through this low that it's been on for about a little bit over a month. Smash through that 62 and the rest is history. It'll be 55 in the 50s, just like I said. It'll do a flash crash down to 39 and or 49. 49. Do a flash crash down to 49. 39, I don't know. You know, an extra 10%, I don't know. But I think at 49, that's where everybody's going to hop in. So far, I don't think they have actually placed their orders. Because I listened to Cryptos R Us this morning, and just about half of the program, and he didn't mention anything about it. He didn't mention anything about, you know, them placing any shorts, and so that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting for them to place their shorts at 49. And so if they do, I gotta tune in to see exactly how that works. I don't know if they give them that, if they tell them exactly where they place their shorts at. But if they do, then, man, I wish I had some dry powder, right? But I got a gig I'm looking into, and if this gig works out, then I'll have some dry powder to load up. And well, I don't know how to place orders like that, you know. I know how to do a spot, but turn this car off just for a second. And so here we are again in Avenel, out here in this. Let's see if I got everything positioned good. I just put me there in the middle there. Yeah, the one thing is in the way there. I'm not used to seeing it like that. So it's nice out here. I'm gonna go over and and see if I can do something up there. I should have rinsed off the back window. But yeah, I wish this thing had a remote control where you can flick between front camera and rear camera. That way it gives you more context of, the surroundings and what's going on. And but I don't know if they'll ever come up with something like that. But I was thinking, well, it'd cost way too much money for them to put another button on there. Yeah, a button wouldn't work either because you don't want the thing moving around when you touch it. So who knows? Maybe they'll get one of those things like the clapper. Back in the days, we had Rondo used to come out with these things all the time, usually around Christmas time. They were pretty neat in a way. But yeah, it was called the clapper. Clap on, clap off, the clapper. And so Sunday they're going to start daylight savings time. And Arizona doesn't observe this. At least most of Arizona doesn't observe this daylight saving time. And I think neither does Hawaii. And so they were talking a lot about it. They were talking a lot about that they want to get rid of this daylight savings time. And I remember when they started it. I remember when the United States started this daylight savings time. And because before you would go to school in the morning, the TV would always be on and the news would be on. And they were saying, oh, and the hosts on the news anchors, they would be telling the people all this stuff. And their excuse was, we're going to start daylight savings time because the kids in New York are going to school in the dark. A bunch of freaking bull crap. So I remember when they started that, there used to not be daylight savings time. They used to not mess around with the clock. This is completely stupid because it messes up everybody's circadian rhythm. What the F is wrong with these lunatics? People are used to certain routines, going to the office at certain times, right? It just throws their whole circadian rhythm. It just freaking knocks it, messes up everybody's circadian rhythm. What kind of lunatics are these? What's worse is, why do the people let them? And so I think they do this to keep the people effed up so that you can't get a good understanding of your environment. They need to just leave the clock alone. Stop effing around. And the people need to wisen up and tell them to stop messing with this stuff. They were almost about to get rid of it. They need to get rid of that crap. It's messing everybody up. But anyhow, Sunday starts daylight savings time. It's going to be the 8th, February the 8th. And no people in the comments at prime time? That's weird. So, let me see if I'm searchable. Hold on. I didn't know it would do that. So I go right into my channel and it already puts me on whatchamacallit. That's interesting. Okay, Viral Gabe, you need to turn up the light. Get some light in your car like this. Even though it looks all green. Yeah, I'm there, but there's no people in the comments. How weird. Okay. So, this is almost like just making a regular video and then loading it up. But even if I was just to make a regular video, when you do that, it takes forever to load up. So I'm going to put this little thing right here so that these lights are not shining in my eye. So, what's been going on, everyone? What's going on in your part of the world? You see what's going on in... This is crazy. We're talking about World War III. They are going there. What are you going to do if the freaking big one hits? You know how fragile the supply chain is in the United States? It's all controlled by computers, and one little false thing, one little mess up, and the whole freaking supply chain is non-functional. What the hell are they going to do? It's a miracle. It's amazing that it's able to function the way it does. All this, shipping bread and shipping lettuce and carrots and shipping all this stuff from Bakersfield over to Florida, shipping stuff from Florida to Los Angeles. I think people are going to start looking for the farms raising chickens to have something to eat. And, the water's going to run out. The water will run out in just a couple of hours. The store shelves will be... What are you going to do? I think that's going to mess it up for everybody. I guess everybody's going to start trying to make their way to a lake, because you could take the water and boil it. I don't know. Have to add iodine to it. Everybody's going to start getting infested with worms. So, I would suspect something's going to pop off. I don't know if they would go for the capital of the United States, or if they would go for Mar-a-Lago in Florida, which is Palm Beach, right? West Palm Beach. Boca Raton. They said it would wipe it off the map. There'd be nothing left. So, I'm not a war expert, but to me, I think what happened is these um, I hate to use the word, these dumbos who are basically haters. They just hate. They'll hate people at the drop of a hat for whatever reason, whatever the hell is going on in their mind, what they've been watching. And um and I think it's their fault for being idiots, for being mean, hating people, not sharing, making people slaves, not paying them decent, being stingy and corrupt, cheating, and oppressing the people. Um, and I think that's the main reason. But another reason, I think it's because most people do not lift a finger to stand up for truth and justice. They do not stand up for, let's say, a bully is beating the crap out of someone. They will not stand up for that person getting beat up by a bully. As long as they're good, as long as they're cool, they will not lift a finger. So they are to blame too. But mostly, I think what caused this idiocy to make this stupid ass move, I think what caused this is the haters, the idiots. Because I think besides the psychology that might be going on in a lot of their minds, I think they're just so stupid they want for the big one to drop. Whether they know it consciously or subconsciously. And so, because of their actions, because of the way they are, the way they went about this whole fight that was going on here in the United States, everyone who was saying, the race card, why do you have to pull the race card? All these people who would not acknowledge racism here amongst us, who really don't even care. They're not sincere about it. They're just assholes for whatever reason. Like I said, who knows what the hell's going on in their mind? Who knows what kind of jacked up things, you know, what was instilled in them. And so I think they are the main reason, because knowing full well what they were doing was not righteous, it was not fair. Not to mention, they never stood up for the people that are being oppressed by the biggest oppressor ever walked on 2 feet, who Aaron Russo tried to expose, to bring to the light in his documentary, America Freedom to Fascism. No one lifted a finger to promote that video, that documentary. Um, well, because of their shittiness, they let a bunch of clowns take up leadership positions, and everybody was telling them they're going to take us into war. They didn't give a shit. They were too cared about. They were too concerned about their own ego, right? Of who is king, who is superior, right? And because of this, they made the biggest dumb shit moves and got us to where we are right now. And personally, I think the other countries, um, they lured them into it. Just like when you have someone, like in the workplace, or someone want that you wish bad on, and you want to hurt that person, you don't do it directly yourself, right? You create situations that cause them to have conflicts with others. And so I think they were lured into it, and they took it hook, line, and sinker. And so now, um, go listen to what Kim Jong Un, is it Kim Jong Un or Kim Jong Un? Go listen to what Kim Jong Un is saying. And so there it is. Go listen to what he's saying. And they went out and they were poking the bear, and they made all these enemies. So now everybody's just sitting back and is gonna beat the hell out of them. And so it's coming. If you go out and you basically bitch slap someone in front of the world, you humiliate them down to the very fiber of their being, of their existence, their whole nation. You humiliate them in front of the world, down to the very fiber of their being. You got it coming. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. Not only that, but have you ever seen certain species, how um, this is what they live for. And it's like, it's similar to how Hollywood glamorizes things like John Wayne or Elvis Presley or John Travolta or um, what was that guy's name? Uh, what was that famous guy's name? I forget his name, but anyway, how they glamorize this. This is very powerful. When you glamorize something, everybody wants to be that thing that you're glamorizing. This is how they sell rock and roll records. This is how they sell R&B records. and and so speaking about music, music today is different than music from the 80s or the 70s, maybe even the 60s, because the people who run Hollywood, you know who they are, right? Um, it all ties in together. But back in the old days, these people who were promoting these bands, putting them up on a what do you call that? Pedestal, glamorizing them like they are gods. And this is how they sold millions and millions of dollars of items by using this thing, glamorizing, making people look like gods. Everybody wants to be like them. This is very powerful. People want to be like gods. And so um, they were tricking the people to believe certain people were good when they weren't. And they would not show the people when they were playing the guitar, they would never let you see the person playing the guitar, what his fingers were doing, because they wanted to make it seem like it's something nobody else can do, right? It's only you have to be a god to be able to play this song. And this is what they used to use. Now it's a whole different. Now you can see on YouTube exactly how these songs are played because all these people are doing live streams and they show you. They show you exactly how to play all these songs. It's completely different now. And so, anyways, this is very strong about glamorizing. Okay? And people will they will, you know, do stuff that you would not believe to be that. It's like a god, right? This must be in all of us. This is what Lucifer was. This was what Lucifer's downfall was, right? Wanted to be God, according to the scriptures. And so, I think that the extraterrestrials, aka Lucifer and the fallen angels, have used this method on the whole nation of Iran. Now, Iran's Holy Scripture is, I don't remember. I think it's Muslim, ain't it? I don't remember. But uh I think the evil one, Lucifer, also known as the extraterrestrials who've been running the show from day one since the days of ancient Babylon, ancient Egypt. And I think they used this on the whole nation through the Holy Scriptures because this was basically mainstream media of the day, right? It was basically broadcast in the churches. And they would read the Holy Scriptures. And I think the one that did this, I've said this a few days ago, is the scriptures of David and Goliath. And so David is the man, right? Because he beat the living tarnation out of a giant who nobody wanted to mess with. This is like the United States. Goliath is like the United States, and David is like Persia, Iran. And so they want to be David and conquer Goliath, which is, you know who? The United States. And so that they will be the man, like David was the man when he slayed this beast that nobody could slay. Nobody wanted to mess with him. And so that's why I'm saying this was a completely stupid. You have to be stupid to do something like that and not expect karma. And so there it is. So that's why I say go listen to what Kim Jong-un is saying. And notice that mainstream media hasn't said a peep about Kim Jong-un. They pissed him off when they you know, called him names. They pissed him off. He hasn't forgot about it, I guess. And so a question I've been thinking about, lately is there more good people than bad people? Is there more good people than evil people? And so I checked the percentages and I asked how many people are homeless, and it gave me a number, something like this. And I said, well, I thought to myself, that's not good enough. I need something more. And so I asked Google, how many people are living like trash here in the United States. And it said that there are 5% of the people living in basically worse than a third world nation, a third world country. 5% of the people here in the United States are living in disgusting housing not fit for human beings. 5%. And so what does that tell you? That tells you that 95% of the people are living in good houses, decent housing fit for human beings. So 95% of the people don't give a shit about the people living in dilapidated housing or homeless. They just don't give a shit. So what does that tell you? Is there more good people than bad people? I contend there's more bad people. So don't be surprised if you feel the whole ground start shaking and hear a sonic kaboom. And so there is, I know I said this last night, but I said it wrong. There is 1,450 homeless people in Fresno, California. Okay, they tried doing everything. They tried making it illegal for you to be homeless in Fresno, California. They tried it last year. They started throwing people in jail for being homeless. And so the federal government gave California a whole shitload of money for the homeless people. And Fresno, California, received almost $1 billion. Let that sink in. $1 billion to help 1,450 homeless people. That's $750 million. I just did it backwards again. Yeah, that's so yeah, I'm saying it the same way I did last night. Okay, so that's each one of those people was supposed to get, each one of the homeless people in Fresno were supposed to get $500,000 each. That money was for the homeless people. Who got the money? Where is the check? Who wrote the check? Where did the check go to? This is supposed to be transparency. Who got the freaking money? Because it sure in the hell wasn't the homeless people. So now they got another 10 million coming. And all those politicians, they're all buddy buddy. They got their construction companies. They're salivating right now like a pack of wolves waiting for this 10 million. That's $7,000 each, which is a drop in the bucket compared to what they were supposed to what they were had what they were supposed to get 2 or 3 years ago when they gave them nearly $1 billion. Now they're giving them 10 million. At least that's still $7,000 each homeless person is supposed to receive. That money is for them. $10 million is on the way to Fresno for the homeless people. People need to pay attention to it. Where is it? Who's writing the check? Where's it coming from? Who's getting the check? Who's cashing the money? And so they're ripping off the money from the money that's supposed to be for the homeless people. They're ripping it off. Apparently, there's a big gang of them. A bunch of corrupt political people in Fresno who are getting these funds and stealing them. Because it sure as hell ain't going to the homeless people. The 1,450 homeless people that are in Fresno living out on the street. The federal government gave them $550,000 each. Okay, so um so food rations. Okay, so there is a this is like I don't ever remember it being this close to World War III because nobody has ever done anything this stupid before. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see how stupid this was. You just basically went over there and slapped the shit out of somebody, humiliated them in front of the world. So, you remember last time they were talking about this, and there was the evangelist Baker. Remember Baker? He was married to Tammy. Um, Jim, I think his name was Jim, and um, and they threw him in jail. I forget for what, some type of stealing money from the church or something. And so now he's got a really nice looking wife, because Tammy passed away a while back, and it was probably from all that makeup she was wearing. Because makeup is what I heard. Makeup is not very good to have all that makeup on, and she had tons of it on. And I never seen anybody wear that much makeup. And but he's got a new wife, and she's real pretty. And they live over in this place called Braden, Missouri. It's actually just a few miles down from Braden. Braden is on the main highway. I think it's like Highway 20, and they sell a bunch of. They got these goofy signs up there. World's best toffee or something. It's just goofy. I mean, huge, gigantic signs. The world's best toffee or something like this. I never pulled in there, but anyway, that's where they live. It's just a few miles from there. And And so you can see him on, I think he's still with us. I haven't checked I haven't checked to see what he's doing in about 6 months probably. But you can go in and check out what Jim Bakker's doing. And Jim Bakker came back out, found a fine looking chick, right? I don't know how he does it. Does he got some money hidden somewhere or something? And so Jim Bakker started selling um, food buckets in case of a war. You know how like these billionaires, they're building bunkers right now. All the billionaires are building bunkers in their house for wartime. At least that's what I've heard. I haven't really studied it. I just heard that. Um, well, Jim Bakker was selling these buckets, survival buckets of food, and Alex Jones started selling them too. And Alex Jones also sells nutritional supplements. This is probably one of the reasons why they went after him, because he's also selling this one product that would, if the information got out, it would wipe out all of your antibiotics. Because the antibiotics that are on the market, they only have a narrow spectrum of the stuff they get rid of. Basically, I'm not a professional. I'm just this for educational purposes. I'm repeating the stuff that I've looked at online. I'm a regular, normal person with a brain repeating information that I've heard online. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just sharing information. I don't have anything for sale. And so this thing, according to Bob Beck, a research scientist or a research engineer for NASA Jet Propulsion Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, said that this stuff that Alex Jones has for sale right now, and so does Jim Bakker. This is one of the reasons probably why these two people have been attacked by the government. Okay? And in Alex Jones' case, aren't they suing him for 50 billion? I think it was. Um, well, there's a car that just pulled up right here and it's got its light shining on me. Okay. Okay. Is he going to move or is he just going to stay right there? Let me put this up. It's shining the lights right on me. Okay. There. I don't know if that'll... Yeah, I'll just duck down a little bit. Okay, so... So, don't you think that's odd? That Alex Jones and Jim Bakker are selling this substance that Bob Beck said you can make for 1 penny a gallon, and it is more powerful than any antibiotic known to man since the days of ancient Rome. I'm not even going to say what it is, okay? But anyhow, so both of these people were selling food rations. And Um, what's his name? Alex Jones was selling these buckets. You can, if you go look on YouTube, you'll see. Um, Alex Jones was selling these buckets too of food for in case war broke out. And he sold $240,000 worth in one day. So he sold a grip of them. And so did Jim Baker. And so I just wanted to let you know that. But yeah, one of the products I make myself. I have I have some of the stuff to make the stuff. It's a piece of cake. You make it with a 9-volt battery, and you can make it for uh, 1 gallon for a penny. And so uh, yeah, they were just waiting for this. They made a lot of enemies, called a lot of people freaking names on national TV, and these people were just waiting for it. They are ready to pounce on these mofos now. I don't know what they're going to do, but just I guess we're just going to wait and see. I just hope they don't hit anything close to over here, because there's a Navy base, um, a military base, just 17 miles from here. So that's not good, huh? But anywho, so yeah. And what else did I have to? Oh yeah. Um, let me show the whatchamacallit. And then last night I talked about a video and a documentary. And but before I tell you about that, because I know a lot of people want to go check that out. Before I tell you about that, I want to show you. This is that documentary I was telling you about. It's the greatest oppressor um, ever walked on 2 feet, and and it's a documentary by Aaron Russo, and it proves that most people are not good, because if they were good, they would stand up and expose this freaking beast that targets, and they know damn well this is true. This freaking oppressor, this big freaking bully, making people homeless, taking their money, they know damn well it's the biggest freaking scam that's ever been perpetrated on the American people. Anybody with half a brain cell knows it's true. And if you don't believe it and you're a very, very smart person, read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, from G. Edward Griffin, and you will be a believer. If you're just a regular dummy that doesn't know how to read, don't know how to read or write the English language, then watch the documentary that Aaron Russo put his neck out on the line to expose these mofos, because he cared about truth and justice and sticking up for people that are being bullied. Okay? The name of the documentary is called America, Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo. And you can watch it on YouTube. It's all over YouTube, strangely enough. And so also what's going on now, hopefully all the people will come together, because when these crazies, they didn't do stuff as crazy as this. I don't think they did crap as crazy as this. And even that they did back then, they were doing it to people who could not defend themselves. Now they can defend themselves. Okay? And and so back then these crazies were, you know, just beating the shit out of everybody, pouring hot tar on men, women, and children. Um, did these people deserve it? I'm not God. Okay? But are you going to sit by and let somebody do that shit to somebody? Okay, so everyone was coming together. The hippies, the American Indian movement, the Black Panther Party, the Latin Kings, the Young Lords, Puerto Rico, Cuba, um, Fidel Castro, and Ernesto Guevara. They were all coming together against these devils. Okay, the devils that are doing the same shit right now. Everybody was coming together to stop these mofos. And you can see what they were doing in the 60s when they were all coming together to stand up against these freaking turds. Okay, just like they need to stand up against the Iran needs to stand up against their oppressors. Freedom of speech, but that's, their thing. We got our own problems over here. We need to stand up against these, for freedom of speech. The Constitution, the first amendment of the Constitution is freedom of speech. People need to stand up for this, but they don't want to because they've got it too cushy. They don't give a shit about anybody except themselves. At least according to the evidence that I just presented, 95% of them. Okay? Because 5 people are living in freaking dilapidated housing and they don't care. So the government, these crazies who were doing all this nasty stuff to people, men, women, and children, just like they're doing now. Okay, if all the stuff that they're saying is true, that they took out, a school of little girls, this is the same bullshit they were doing back then. The people were all coming together to stop these crazies, and you can see it in this documentary. Okay, the name of the documentary is, you don't even bother try looking for it on YouTube. They've got all kinds of bull crap out there. Do not waste your time. Don't even try checking it out on YouTube. It's all garbage. It is on YouTube, but I started promoting this about a few months ago, I would imagine. Probably 3 or 4 or 5 months ago. It was on YouTube. You could watch it. There was a couple people who had it. Now they've bombarded it with all kinds of fake, phony channels. Everybody's talking about the movie, and they're just messing it up. So it is still available right now on Amazon. You can get the DVD on Amazon. Okay? But I don't think it's going to be there very much longer, because just like the other 2 DVDs that I was promoting, which is The Murder of Fred Hampton and Mad as Hell by Aaron Russo, both of these DVDs were pulled off of the market. You cannot find them on Amazon no more. They are not available. I suspect this one is next. It's called The Weather Underground. Okay? So it's important for you to know about history. They were standing up to these devils, but they got shut down with the television, Hollywood. They made these people out to look like bums, and it was just all psychology. So they destroyed them with propaganda and the military. They sicked the military on these people for standing up against injustice and basically standing up against these devils who are doing all this crap. Okay, so make sure you check that out. And And so last night, I was telling you, I did some kind of psychological analysis on something that is very, very wrong with our society. For example, just 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, here comes this car again. Just about 3 weeks ago, here in this little small town, we only have one uh, traffic signal in this town. It's a little small town. It's basically 99.8% Hispanic, this town here. It's called Avenel, California. If you check the demographics, it won't say that because they include this prison that's right here. There's a prison sitting there, and they include all the people. And it's disproportionate. The population in prisons is disproportionately, um, let's just say it is mostly almost all brown and black people in prison, right? And so um, that messes it up because if you come to this town, you just look around you, okay? It's 99.8% Hispanic here. And so um, to show you how there's something very, very wrong with what's been instilled in the people through religion, through media, the TV, the movies that you watch, to show you that there's something very, very wrong with the people and the way they think. Just last month, here in this little town, a 27-year-old dude, there's a black cat crossing the road up there. Um, a 27-year-old dude shot and killed a 30-year-old dude. And what makes somebody do that? Ask yourself, what do you think makes somebody do that? I think you all know the answer to that. And so I was just explaining how there needs to be classes, some type of instructions, letting the people know that if you get into a relationship with a person, with a girl, with a lady, there is about a 90% chance that there is going to be cheating in the relationship, infidelity, the unimaginable. There is about a 90% chance it is going to happen. How are you going to deal with it? It's obvious these classes are non-existent, or you wouldn't have this happening, what just happened in this small town. So I told you that Hollywood has been forced by whatever is controlling this whole thing. Must be God or the collective conscious. Hollywood now, thus far, up until now, recently, used to play pure freaking fake ass shit. Go back and watch the movie Reefer Madness. This is how stupid the people are. Reefer Madness. And because of movies like this and how stupid the people are, they put Geronimo Pratt, who was a leader in one of the social rights movement groups back in the 60s. It's in this documentary that I was telling you about, The Weather Underground. He should be in there too. Geronimo Pratt. They gave him a 10-year sentence in prison for having a joint, a marijuana joint, cigarette, a marijuana cigarette. And when they're the ones putting it into the communities and raking in the cash, because according to Bob Beck, research engineer for NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, the people you get your prescription medications from, over the counter and prescription, are the same people running 50%, probably more by now, 50% of the drugs on the street. They are one and the same. Okay? And so they do this through propaganda. And so there's this person. Well, Hollywood was putting out all this fake shit. So you can go in and watch this movie. It's called Reefer Madness. This is propaganda. Okay? If you don't know what propaganda, this is propaganda. And they put out stuff like this. Well, now they're forced to put out real stuff because nobody wants to watch that fake crap no more. They've caught on now. And so they can't put on all these fake. You remember Cops? Everybody was watching Cops when it came out. Right? Remember, bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Then finally, I think it was Saturday Night Live or somebody. I don't know where I saw it. They made one, but then they put a spin on it to where you can see it was fake. They were staging all this stuff. They were showing your side. They were glamorizing the cops. So you got all these cycles that were drawn to this industry, this work of being a cop, this profession. They were drawn to it like freaking flies. They were drawn like a magnet by all these psychos who want to be super cop. And they turned them loose on these low-income communities. And the rest was history. You had all these people getting shot in the back, especially up in Oakland, around that area. I think it was Viejo, California. That was a big thing, and these girls came out there and they were on mainstream, and they got rid of that video. They put it out, and I forget the girl's name. But anyway, so Hollywood is forced now to put real stuff out there because these live streams are competition. These live streams are real. You have real people showing real stuff in real time right now. And so they couldn't compete with it. People didn't want to watch the fake stuff. They want the real stuff. I guess they get a rush off it. And so they're forced to, I know I said all this last night, they're forced to use this thing that is called freedom of information. Okay? That means I have the right to go down to the police department and request body camera footage. But you think they'd give me anything? They ain't giving me shit. Right? You have to be basically a lawyer to know you have to ask in a certain way. You have to answer questions in a certain way, or they ain't giving you shit. And so, being Hollywood, they've got more freaking lawyers. These people who run Hollywood have more lawyers because they grow up reading literature. I learned that off this one professor. That's why they're all a bunch of lawyers. So they go in and they're FOIA requesting these through the Freedom of Information Act. They're getting all this body cam footage because it's public knowledge. It's supposed to be there for the public if the public wants to see it. But like I just said, you go in there and try ask them for it and see if they give it to you. And so they're showing all these real things that are going on with the police officers, the everybody who's wearing body cams, the fire department, highway patrol, all these sheriff, and so they showed this one thing that happened, and there's this guy, and did I remember the name of it? No, I didn't remember the name of it. I didn't write it down, or did I? Um, Damn it! I was supposed to write that crap down. I'll get the name for you. It's up on my Facebook. Okay, I can pull it up on my Facebook. Just 1 second. Okay, then I gotta get going. Okay, I'll tell you the guy's name. It happened right here in Fresno, California. Actually, it's called Clovis, but nobody knows Clovis. Everybody knows Fresno. They're basically, side by side. And the name of the guy is um, okay. You can find it by typing in this. Okay, the title on the video where it shows the body cam of this whole thing. What happened? Um, by typing in husband snaps after catching wife cheating. Now let's let you see a picture of it. Let me turn on this light. Maybe it'll. Oh, great. Maybe it'll. There. It won't focus, but that's the guy. See the guy holding his arm up? That guy right there. He lost it because he caught his wife cheating. And I explained the whole thing. I explained the whole thing on the video last night. Okay, and I went into the psychology of it and everything like this. And that should not happen. I explained the whole thing. I went into depth. I went into the whole psychology of it, of why he lost it. And go in and see. It's all on body cam because he caught his wife cheating. And that's why I'm bringing it up and saying this. I went into all the psychology on the video yesterday that I did last night from right here in the spot. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I just didn't want to leave you hanging on that because I said I was going to do something. But it's on my Facebook. I don't know if you know where my Facebook is. And I asked for people to sign up to my Facebook or follow me, but nobody did. But here's my Facebook name. And it's the one of a person. Whoops. Wait. Oh, this is on Mirror. Yeah, I was showing that damn thing on Mirror too, huh? Okay, so let me see if I can turn this around. Okay. So the documentary is this one. It's the Weather Underground. Just wait just a second. I'm waiting for the video to catch up here. Just a second. It takes, okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's the Weather Underground. Let's see if I got towards the window. I don't know why there's such a delay like that. What's taking it so long? It's like 3 minutes behind. It won't let me show it to you. Anyway, it's called the Weather Underground. Okay? The Weather Underground. And the people who made this was Sam Green and Bill Siegel. Okay, that's the documentary. It's on Amazon. And my Facebook, where I have that one video listed, if you can't remember, husband snaps after finding out wife cheated. Okay. Um, this is my Facebook page. Okay, that's my Facebook page. I don't know if you can read it. Okay. That's my Facebook page. And here's the name of that book that I was telling you about. If you're smart, it's called The Creature from Jekyll Island. I know you can't read any of this stuff. Okay. So that's all I've got. So I'm going to get on down the road here. Yeah, I hate using this thing on mirror. Okay. Move this off there. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later.